Hey folks, welcome back. Chapter number 9, step 3, removing images from the nivo slider. Let's just pop into our web editor, and what we're going to do, because we're working in a library page, is we're going to preview one of our pages that use that library component in a web browser first. So we'll select the index page because we're going to update the nivo slider. The nivo slider is embedded into a primary layout. The index uses a primary layout. Cool. So we'll just preview that in Firefox before we get started. There it is. We're going to remove one of the 4 images that show up in this particular component here. Now, to remove an image from a nivo slider, we'll open up the library and we'll, as an example, use the nivo slider large. We don't actually call it large, it's just called nivo slider, but it works the same for the nivo slider and the nivo slider small. So let's just open this up. Now, this is one case where we are going to dip into the code view. Now, if you've watched the tips on section about working with comment tags, this will look very familiar to you. But all we're going to do to remove an image is switch to code view. We're going to make sure we're near the top of the page where it says image 1, 2, 3, and 4. And using the little number system over here, we're just going to click on the right beside the image we want to remove. For example, at number 9, we want to remove image 3, so we'll just click where the number 9 is to select that entire row. And let me just give you a little bit more view here. We're going to click right there to select that entire row, and we're just going to press delete on the keyboard. And that removes an image. That's all there is to it. You can actually leave the titles and the captions down below. You don't have to remove those because the only way they're linked in or show is via the title. And we talk about that in a later chapter. But you can repurpose those or retask those later on if you add new images at some other point in time. But to remove an image from the nivo slider, that's all you need to do. You do it in code view. It doesn't require any HTML skills whatsoever. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to save our changes. So let's just go back to our folder list. We'll save our changes. Then what we'll do is we'll go back to our Firefox and we'll just refresh the page. Make sure that we only have 3 showing up now. Perfect. That's exactly what we expected. Now that that's done, it's the way we want it to be. We can close down the nivo slider page. If it wasn't what we wanted, we just simply go to the edit, undo, or press Control Z, Control Z on the keyboard, put it back to the way it was before we started, and then we start over again and go through the process until we get the result that we're expecting.